drive-in, but when you're at the drive-in, you sit down and you're open to at least 3 or 4 screens at one time. And then if you count all of the other glass panes on all of the windows in the cars, that's like 100 other reflections of the screen. It's
Right.
like a ghost, like ping pong in there, you know? It's like
Okay.
it's crazy. Welcome to a week of Ghosts in the Scene. This is a very special week. This beautiful episode is brought to you by me, Gio, and my co-host Rob. How's it going, Rob?
My world's on fire, Gio. How about yours?
I like it this way because I never get bored. We're on fire. The fires of California we're talking about. Don't worry. The smoke, we blessed it, audio sage. That way it could be a ghost-free fire. It's actually really hard to do that since it's burning in a lot of places. Let's just shout out to all of the workers, all of the firefighters, everybody that's working hard to get this bad boy out. We appreciate you.
Blessings and prayers to all the souls that were taken in this fire. To all those out there, not everyone made it out. There's a lot of people still struggling still, so our blessings to them as well.
Absolutely. You know, we'll even shoot out a link. Not even, I guess you'll have already seen it because we'll shoot it out the day we're recording this, just so you guys can support some kind of fire cause, because there's a lot of people that lost all of their stuff, including ghost hunting gear was lost. So who knows how Malibu is a very big hotspot for ghosts. So the idea that a lot of ghost hunters probably lost their stuff is probably a big percentage. So please send money, send whatever you can. But we have a lot of things to do instead of talk about the terrifying fire that's outside of our doors right now, Rob. Let's get into the work, the business. A lot of things have happened this week. Tragedy has struck Hollywood in a big way. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It's the only story that really matters right now, which is the passing of the late, the great, the now ghostly Stan Lee.
Yeah. Wow. You said it in a very respectful way. I appreciate you saying that, but you should really have given a little more sauce on the ghostly part. Because
I was trying to give it a ghostly, maybe.
Ghostly. Something a little scarier.
Okay.
Because here's my problem with this whole thing. Stan Lee dies, yes, but his energy is not gone. We all know that. Everybody who listens to this podcast, we get it. Ghosts happen. They're born when we die. This is a ghost birthday.
I feel him with us right now. This was a very powerful effect. This is a very powerful ghost. So perhaps ghostly.
Yes.
Stan Lee. Yeah, that's what we need, because this is big news, everybody. Stan Lee's a ghost, and I think what we're trying to tell you is that there's people out there that might try to use this ghost for their own purposes.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Right. It's hard to say exactly, and without sounding too accusatory, I think there are some signs that we could all follow and known players in this field that we need to watch out for, because this is a big one. This is a big fish.
Exactly. Not like Tim Burton's movie Big Fish.
No.
Stan Lee knew how to make...
Full of ghosts, by the way.
Yes. I mean, that large man who was very tall, that was at least 250 ghosts that I counted on top of his skin. Just the amount of skin he had, all the ghosts who were hiding on it. But let's get to Stan Lee. He made universes out of thin air in his brain. He would create characters. Now, that's what we believe, right? That's the human story that we all have heard and we're all aware of. But that's probably not what's really true. He probably had some kind of spiritual connection with a ghost, maybe a friendly Casper friend. Or, I mean, if we're being serious here, It might have been a demon or something like that. We all know that Stan Lee was in the army. And you know the demon of war. We've talked about him in previous episodes. Rob has a personal connection with the war demon. He has another name. I don't know if you want me to call him by his name. So I'll.
Well, I mean, that really struck me because I made me realize that, it's really calling me by my true name. I know that we talk about false names a lot in the show, and I'll come to admit, Rob is not my legal name. It's Robert, like this man that we're speaking, who I share my name with, Robert E. Lee.
Yes.
Robert Entertainment Lee.
Yes, and Stan Lee. That there is a connection right there. Stan Lee. All he needed was an E, and it would be Stan E. Lee, just like Robert E. Lee. So, I mean, we have the connection there. We have the war demon that he might have come in contact with when he was in the army, which I believe many soldiers come in contact with this demon. It is a very common demon, the demon of war.
I think it's seen by most men that go to combat. It's an awful demon. And just to think about the entire concept of these universes and realms, really, with their realms that Stan Lee was able to produce, I could only come from the knowledge to be so close to a demon like death, and to see people cross that threshold between life and death so frequently really opens up your minds, and it is only done through that way that I believe that Stan Lee was able to access those universes and create them.
Exactly. For some reason, he was significantly better at making a universe that stuck. Because, I mean, there are plenty of people in the sci-fi world that can make up a language, that can make up a planet and people, and, they're all farting around in some weird gas, whatever, and it's all bullshit, and no one really cares because it's boring writing, right? This guy, Stan Lee, from New York, from, a hard-bitten life, is able to create characters that are compelling enough that people remember them for 75 years plus. Who knows? I mean, these characters are going to be forever.
Mm-hmm.
And what is a character? A character is a name, a collection of drawings. This is all indicating to me that it is a spell. Okay, a deity that he created out of thin air, that he brought from his head, the universe inside of him, into our universe. How many times did he do that? I mean, I'm sure there's a counter. We're not going to count it for you. There might be a dangerous number in there, but it's probably high. And all those deities he created now exist forever with us. What kind of power do you think he's going to have as a ghost? I mean, I don't know. But I think a lot of people were watching this. They were watching and waiting for him, and it's sad to say, they were waiting for him to pass because they knew his strength would only get stronger after he died, after his ghost birthday.
Wow. And when I think I was hitting that before, that there's traces to find. I mean, at this day and time, it's important to realize who owns those intellectual creations from Stan Lee at this moment, the Marvel Universe.
Yes.
That would be the one and only Walt Disney.
And Mickey Mouse.
Mostly Mickey Mouse.
Yes.
And so it would be safe to assume that Disney, our powerhouse mouse in the house, the ghost vultures themselves, now have in command one of the greatest ghost creators, spiritual creators of all time. So this is beyond nuclear. This is beyond hydrogen. This is a class unto itself. This is a star.
This is a new element. This is a new state of existence that we are living in. There was pre-Stan Lee, and now there's post-Stan Lee, post-Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And we were living in a pre-Robert E. Lee, pre-Lee, and post-Lee. You know, it's a cycle. We're either always pre-Lee or post-Lee.
And we're post Lee again. You know, and that's I'm not entirely sure what to make of that because the last time the post Lee cycle, I mean, Lee did not die in the Civil War. Spoiler alert to history. He lived beyond then, but the trade-off was that they made his house into a haunted house and buried all the dead soldiers at his house. Basically, may they rest in peace.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, and so again, you know, this is also Veterans Day was this week as well. So we're seeing this. The timing of everything, people, is not coincidental.
The day after Veterans Day is when Stan Lee passed.
Yeah.
So, you know, he had one last Veterans Day, maybe one last meeting with all of his friends who have gone, you know, to the beyond Ghost Dimension,
who many of them live at Robert E. Lee's, or not live because they reside.
They haunt.
Live in ghostly form. They haunt the house of Robert E. Lee. So I mean, he's already has these spiritual connections, tying them together
since the beginning, since the moment he saw combat, you know. And so now we go to Marvel and Disney, like you were saying, and why they would want him. Of course, they used him to make money as a live man, right? It was a beautiful symbiotic relationship. They made, but oh my God, it just, you know, smacked me in the face. How many movies was he in? So think about it. They were exposing him. They knew what they were doing. They were exposing him every single time he did a cameo in all of those movies. He should have had like a radiation suit on, you know, with holy water going on the inside, because he walked in to a landmine every single time, just like the battlefield, except this time it was a spiritual landmine, and his soul was getting blown away. How many cameos did they make that poor man do? So now they have him as a dead man. And what are they doing with him now? Do we have any guesses? I mean, I have a few.
I mean, we were also discussing earlier about Disney's constructing new extensions to the Underground Railway, presumably to ship people back through the reverse Underground Railroad quicker and from more populous zones like Florida and California.
And also Cape Canaveral to SpaceX.
So this is part of the entire. So we're talking about, you know, energy, the kind of energy they're going for. That's the energy they're going for. Everything, the whole universe, multiverses.
He is going to be weaving together all kinds of plans, devious plans. The villains that this guy created as a living man and conjured are terrifying, will haunt the dreams of children forever. And now we have him playing for possibly Robert E. Lee, for Disney, for Mickey, and it's all going to the most haunted house in America, the White House. If we didn't think it could get any worse, you know, we had like a celebration the last episode. We took a week off. We had a celebration because we thought we won. We thought we warranted a day off. Boy, were we fucking wrong, Rob.
And I apologize to all of our listeners, to the whole world, really, because, you know, it takes a vigilant eye to keep this in everything in check. And obviously they listen to what we say. And we rested on our laurels, and we're sorry, everyone, because they really came at us hard while we were lying down.
Yeah, I mean, the fires happened. And then we haven't, we talked about the election a little bit, but let me tell you, some of the things that happen after the election, post-election, are equally as terrifying. And it's all pointing towards the same thing. It feels like we're all kind of being funneled into I mean, who knows where we're going? Into a meat grinder, maybe, For the vegetarians out there, maybe a vegetable grinder. Or for your weed head guys, maybe a weed grinder. I don't know if you guys like weed, but it's certified ghost free. I can tell you that right now. That's one of it's not audio sage, but it is certified ghost free. But you have to be careful with the strains you pick, because some of them have ghost in them, and obviously they put ghosts in them. That's part of that you get what you pay for. So that's the one thing that we have to continue to kind of be vigilant of, guys.
And I mean, I don't think we want to be too alarmist as well. I think there was a lot of victories to celebrate on that day as well. It was a lot of complex emotions going on. I think we were also, I mean, I know I was also having to process everything that was going on before I was ready to speak on any of it. But, there's a lot of firsts in elections. People that are being elected to office that haven't been before. But more importantly, there are beings being elected to office that have never before. We can talk our big talk about all these big grand schemes, but I think we need to also show you, listener, that we also walk the walk. We have evidence to back this up. This isn't stuff that we're just making up. There are trends that you can follow. And one trend is the election of the very first being to his state house. It is the very first ghost has been elected, an official to the country, to the Nevada Assembly.
What?
In the state of Nevada, they elected a ghost to represent their county, a man who has passed away.
Okay. So Nevada, I don't know if you voted for the right person. I don't know his politics. Do we know anything about this man
Well, let me tell you about this man's politics. His name is Dennis Hoff, a reality TV star.
Wait, can we get that name one more time?
Dennis Hoff.
Almost like Hoffman, the actor.
And he's also been on TV, right?
Okay. Oh yes, actually. Oh my God, Rob. This guy's on HBO all the time, or Cinemax, or one of those. Okay.
Oh, he was.
Guys,
he became a ghost and is now in the Nevada Assembly.
We all know this man. This man was the bald fat guy in the Bunny Ranch who owned it. He was really red-faced all the time, and he was on HBO like all the time. They made a show about him. He's been in everyone's TV set for the past 25 years, probably. So now we have him, all of this experience behind the screen, and now he is transcended as a ghost to represent the state of Nevada.
Yeah, and this all happened very quickly, everyone. I mean, we're working on compressed time right now. If you think about the aspects of time, the normal dilations are dialed way up. We're moving at rapid pace. This man was not even, confirmed in any sort of political party that I'm aware of prior to this year. Prior to last year, I should say, when he registered as a Republican right after Stephen Baldwin, a.k.a. Donald Trump, was elected the President of the United States.
Wow. Stephen Baldwin gets his buddy possibly cheesed on what he's doing, says, hey, man, it's so easy. Why don't you do it? And, the guy, he has the experience, just like Donald did. Donald, quote unquote Donald, doing The Apprentice, doing all this, Stephen Baldwin movies that he did. And so he figured he'd take a shot at it. And yet he went a shot too far. And so he was found dead, you said. How old was he? Let's do the math on this guy.
72 years old.
Well, 7 + 2 is 9. That's flip that upside down. That's a 6.
Okay. That would be. There's no 6s. I'm trying to figure out his birthday, but I'm terrible at math.
Well, October. Oh my God, he was born October 14th, 1946. Okay, he died October 16th, 2018. So that's
2 6s.
2 days. Wow. And he was 72 years old. So he had a partner, his wife, from 2009. This guy is covered in 9s, covered in 6s. He was on HBO for how many years?
HBO, if you know what I mean. More aptly called.
Yes. And, Dennis Hoff. I mean, this guy is on his way to represent the state of Nevada. And he's a ghost. The first one ever.
See, but Gio, I think you said that he was shot too far. I kind of fear that this was a part of the plan all along. I think Stephen Baldwin, the highest con man of the land, conned Hoff. He said it was easy. He told him it was fine. He didn't tell him how hard it would be. It killed him. They killed him right before the election. So his name would be on the ballot, right? He gets his name on the ballot as a living person to get around the system. They kill him off so they can elect a ghost and to do their bidding.
Wow. I mean, that's it. It's all connected. The reverse Underground Railroad needed another casualty that they threw right under it. And
well, no, it's an important step, though, Gio. Think about it. If we want to send this Underground Railroad in reverse, and it's all about ghosts and getting them to the White House, why don't just put ghosts in Congress?
Yes.
Make them our elected officials.
Normalize. Oh my God.
Have them run the whole system.
They're normalizing ghosts. Not that ghosts weren't already in charge, everybody, but now they're in the front.
They're running our public offices, dictating directly what our lives are going to be.
They've went from possession to outright just being ghosts. And we should we're living in a post-Lee life now. The world is different now. So we got to remember that because things have changed. All of the things that he created in his fake universe now might bleed into our universe since he died. We don't know what they have him doing, but we do know he has all the experience, and we have no time to figure it out. We got to do this ASAP because time is of the essence. So there's one last thing I wanted to talk about. It is, I would say, a kind of scary thing. Netflix did something. This was during the craze of Halloween and all that stuff. They put out a show called The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which is a reboot of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I don't know.
Also, reboot of the animated series as well.
A tree boot, the 3 boot. So that's 3 right there. Count them. And
halfway to 6.
My God. And this is the second, real life version. That's 3 times 2. That's 6. And the first version didn't have many problems. I think a lot of people were angry at it because it promoted witchery and witchcraft. And we were on that board very early on. And with this new one, I kind of enjoyed parts of it. I watched it for research. It was very demonic. So trigger warning for all of you guys who have been possessed. But the one thing that I liked was that they made parts of, Satanism kind of like bad. They showed it to be what it truly is: evil. It's dark. There's blood, and a color red is everywhere, and it really showed how evil Satanism is and how you should reject it and reject ghosts. But the Church of Satan, they couldn't have that.
It's slanderous, they said.
Yeah. Maybe they're right. I mean, they did go kind of hard on them, which they should. I don't understand. I mean, we're living in such a post-Lee world that you can't even make fun of Satanists anymore. I forget how much money did they get sued for? They got fucking sued.
$50 million. They're asking of Netflix.
My God.
For it's infringed on their copyright and defamed its deity.
So libel against Satan, guys. That's the world that we live in now.
Think about it.
It's not hard to imagine a future where, Superman, if you talk shit about Superman on Twitter, the property of Superman will sue you, or anybody, any character now has the ability, just like the Church of Satan, to say that you have mischaracterized them. If you do an impersonation wrong, you might get sued. So, guys, we're living in a very scary time. The Reverse Underground Railroad has been kicked into a new gear. It has new tracks in development. And frankly, this week is going to be a very scary week. We have recounts happening in Florida, maybe a runoff in Georgia. We have fires in California. I mean, we don't know where we're going. But we know that we're going to be here for you guys. That's without a doubt. We're going to be here for all of you.
And I'll just say, I'll have to be with all of you in spirit this upcoming week. I'm going on a research mission. I am actually going to be in France next week, the south of France. I'm trying to get to the bottom of ghost connection to Cannes. The Khan, or however you may say it, it is a spell. So there's no real correct way to say it. Mm-hmm. Just know that. So don't feel bad about saying either way. But we've been planning this research mission for a while, where Gio and I have been behind the scenes working tirelessly to make sure that we can get the right equipment over there. So be ready for some special reporting. Please, I hope you're all safe here while I am gone. I will do a special report from France that you guys can look forward to next week. So stay tuned from that, because I think we're going to get into some real eye-opening material. There's going to be some really great research done, and I think that's going to help shine some light, help contextualize everything that's happening here. Because, folks, this ain't happening in a bubble. There's other people around us. There's other beings around us. There's other universes around us. So we're going to go out there, and we're going to tell you what's going on, because it's all connected, as we're saying, always. So stay tuned.
Yeah, stay in the scene, everybody. Be safe this week, and we're gonna keep it down while Rob is off doing his research. We only had enough money to pay for one ticket, so he's gonna do it. He has all the equipment, and I look forward to kind of having my week to kind of say whatever I want. I got a lot of opinions, and I'm gonna say them when Rob's away. The mice will play. So, stay in the scene, guys.
Stay extreme. Make sure to always have the proper protections, everyone. We know that we say the fires are sage and ghost-free. However, the particles that come from the fire maybe ghosts in there, though. And if you breathe it, it could make you sick. So please be protected. Please be safe for all of us that are out here in the fires. and to everyone else, just thank you for your prayers and any sort of donations to help us through these times, especially the people that are being affected by these most closely. We love you all. Thank you for that support.
All right. See you guys next week. All right.
Okay.
Episode 2. So Bohemian Rhapsody, Prague.
I'm in France.
And then what else? Oh yeah, we'll just do a quick one then. Yeah. Oh shit! And then I guess maybe we could talk about a little bit about Michelle Obama.
Oh right, about she's getting it down with Stephen Baldwin. I don't know. I don't want to talk too much politics.
I was thinking because she does have the thing. She does have the thing with Netflix, and she did just come out with a book.
Okay.
But
something.
I'm not sure. Yeah, we could just briefly mention her a little bit and just say that, like, you know, Netflix is still doing its thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey, can you hear? Oh,
yeah.
You probably can't hear this.
Can you hear it? Yeah, I can hear it.
How loud is it?
It's not good. It's bad. It's fine.
Can you hear me over it?
Yeah. Are you in France?
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. Special report from France.
Okay, wait. How do we want to intro this? Should I have pick up when like you'll bring me on and?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
So what should I start off with? This is next week. I should do one hot take. Okay. Maybe I'll start off with Michelle Obama.
Okay.
What should I say about fucking Michelle Obama? Oh, shit. Well, her and Melania have been having problems. You heard about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Where's the ghost? Well, Melania's fake, right?
It's not real Melania. Or is it? You never know. Which one's her and which one's the devil.
Exactly. Oh, they said devil. What else, though? Trump went to France.
Oh, that's why. Why didn't I say that the first time?
That's okay. I mean, we can just mention it here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll talk about that. I'll talk about how Trump went to France. Okay.
It was the 100th. So it was also the 100th anniversary from the end of World War I. That's why he was there.
Okay. I'll talk about that.
And he was so scared of the ghosts, he couldn't go outside.
Yes. Okay.
He's been in the rain before. Look online.
Yeah. He doesn't have an umbrella. We saw the video of him dropping the fucking umbrella.
Right. So he knows how to hold an umbrella, at least for like a limited amount of time.
He can't close it, but he has it above his head. He's fine.
Right. So
that guy sucks.
BS. He's scared of the ghosts.
Yes. I like that. Okay. So we'll start there.
Okay.
All right. Welcome to a week of Ghosts in the Scene. I am so happy to be here. Is Audio Sage. I am your host, your single to mingle, ready to jingle all the way home, Gio. And I will be joined in a little while by my co-host. But first, I just kind of wanted to talk about last week. We mentioned that Rob was going to France, and he hopped on a plane, flew all the way there. And of course, as soon as he got there, the scent was strong. Stephen Baldwin, a.k.a. our president, Donald J. Trump, was in France for the 100th anniversary of the World War I ending. And let me tell you guys, it was a very commemorative, a beautiful, somber moment. I don't think anybody has survived from that time. I think the closest was a World War II survivor who was there, but of course, it was not his war that he was representing. He was just representing the second one. It's kind of weird that he was there. So, of course, the president himself, Donald J. Trump, aka Stephen Baldwin, did not show up to the cemetery. Too afraid, possibly from all the ghosts that would boo him during his speech. And so he complains about it's the water. I believe that because it was a holy day, it might have been holy water that would have fallen on him. And that could have been the reason why he wouldn't like all of the water on him. It might have ruined the illusion and shown that he was actually Stephen Baldwin in disguise. But with no further ado, I have with me online from France, Rob Thomas. Rob, are you there?
Hello, Gio. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello. Bonjour, as they say here.
Bonjour.
And, yeah.
You sound so different.
I think it means hello.
I'll look into that because it sounds like a spell, a little bit.
That's what I'm worried about. But I guess any words could be a spell. I'm not entirely sure what this incantation means, but it could be hello. So hello, Gio. Bonjour to you. I've been feeling. Let me just step inside for a second. I've been feeling spiritual. There's all sorts of spirits here. There seem to be a lot older spirits than I'm used to. But it's kind of warm. It's like returning home in a sense when you find these old spirits.
Interesting. So the spirits there are more welcoming. You're saying that they're nicer over there in France, because maybe we've only dealt with jerk American ghosts, and maybe other ghosts from other places are nicer.
I mean, I'm not sure if I could say as much. It could just be the wine talking, But I've had very positive experiences here so far, and it has opened up my eyes of how things could be. Of course, anywhere there's asshole ghosts or like mean ghosts, but I think also since since our president left here as well, there's been a little bit of tension that's eased from the world, and you don't realize about the amount of tension Stephen Baldwin creates when he's around him, just from all this paranormal activity. That once that presence is gone, that weight is lifted. So hopefully we can do something about that soon, so we don't have to feel such crushing weight of this activity. God, I hope so, because it sounds like he's still really busy over there in the United States. I can't even speak upon of what he's been doing this week, but
we only had a few days off when he was gone, and he came back as soon as he could to wreak as much havoc as he wanted. So he's doing the same thing over here that he was doing over there, just impersonating a president very badly. But over there, you were investigating Cannes, the film festival, where someone's like a canine, like a dog, a wolf of some kind.
Yes.
Possibly, I'm not sure what kind of wolf we're talking about. Like maybe like a fox. A fox is a wolf, something like that, right? So you're investigating this film festival. They've done a lot for ghosts, propagating ghosts in Europe, and we are talking a little bit more about Europe in this episode, just because you're over there, and it's so interesting. All the ghosts seem to be older in Europe. I'm not really sure what that's about. But but for some reason they're all Victorian. They all wear these big gowns and stuff, and it's they must be very hot and all that stuff. Especially, how's the weather out there, Rob?
It's actually it's a bit cool, not too cold, but it's a pretty. It's not too cold, so the ghosts might freeze. I think can get to the point where it's so cold that the ghost the kind of pathway between realms freezes a little bit. So it's just that temperature where it's just cold enough though, where it's a pretty prime time for ghosts to be hanging about.
Would you say that it is a bohemian lifestyle out there?
In the French they say more of the laissez-faire, but I believe bohemian is I think that's appropriate as well. I mean, there is kind of that sort of artistic European style, and I've noticed that it's not just the French people. There's lots of cultures mixing around here as well. And I say old, I mean, and I don't want to say that there aren't old ghosts elsewhere. I think there's even ancient ghosts in the Americas that are, for the most part, hidden. They're very hard to find now.
Yes.
These ancient ghosts. And to open my eyes up to all these sort of genres of ghosts, I think there would be a time where we'd have to investigate those ancient ghosts at one point. But just here, you can feel the difference just between the ghosts here and the ghosts elsewhere. And it makes me really want to explore this more. I think you say Bohemia, and I think that's exactly right. I think that, getting more towards the center of Europe is going to be pulling the energies of the ghosts around the coastline.
Yes.
Back to Central Europe, and I oddly enough, I feel compelled in that direction.
And you're closer than you've ever been. You're so close. You're in Europe. You're a hop, skip, and a jump away, a train away. And yet, here I've done my own research since you've been gone. I did a little European tour of my own. I watched a movie called Bohemian Rhapsody, and that is about an English band. So technically, they are in Europe, called Queen.
For now.
Yes, for now, of course. For in the time, of course, and now
it's a period piece.
Yes, they're international. I mean, truly, they were all over the world. And if you watch the movie, there is plenty of scenes with just them on stage, just singing, lip syncing in different parts of the world. A 10-minute montage. It's very long.
Incantations, you should really say, delivering incantations across the world.
Yes, I hope one day there's an app that will correct me with that kind of stuff, because I feel like I've been so conditioned to say the wrong, kind of ghost-friendly word. I need to be reprogrammed, because there's just so many things that I say that truly I need to reevaluate how I say them. So thank you for that, Rob. So Bohemian Rhapsody, we talked about this before as a precursor without either of us watching it, and we were afraid. I personally was very afraid for this movie when it came out, what it would do. I knew the power of the music, the spells, and what it was capable of, bringing all those people together. If, let's say, he said, turn to your left, they would turn to their left. Turn to your right, they would turn to their right. He would say, day-do-day, dee-do-be-do, dee-do-bo-bo-do, and they would have to copy him. That's all spells that he would make them do. And you could see it, and you could see it in his eyes. He would get excited. And it was the only time he really felt alive, when he was making people say spells that he created out of his brain. I want to talk about this movie, and I want to be respectful of Freddie Mercury, because I don't think that Freddie was at fault, but I believe that the people making this movie humiliated Freddie Mercury.
I mean, and you just got to go to who you follow the money, as always.
Exactly. Who did this to him? Because the movie that I watched was he was a sad, lonely, drug addicted, and all of his friends made him feel bad for it. They were the, like, it was just this like really kind of like they were these perfect angels, and he was just this like troubled soul, and he couldn't do anything right except for sing. And it's like, I don't know Freddie Mercury. I never knew him, but I'd like to think that those guys were probably as like big of jerks as he was,
Mhm.
So the fact that they came out squeaky clean and he, was just ran through the muck, and he's the only one that's dead, it just makes me so confused. Who did this?
It's complete ghost shaming, really.
Exactly. And it's like,
I mean,
but
all these other guys are still alive, and they are just get the shit on him because he's not. It's and to make it seem like it's his fault for being a ghost as well. It's just really perpetuating some horrible tropes.
absolutely. And they making wearing leather jackets bad, like it's a bad thing. Like he's going through his bad phase and he's wearing leather jackets and it's supposed to be bad. Sorry, but all ghost hunters wear leather jackets, so you're wrong. There is, once again, it's like they're ghost shaming, and yet they're also ghost hunter shaming in a subtle way. And I caught that, and I got pissed because I'm a ghost hunter, and I paid to see this movie, and they make fun of the ghost and they make fun of me. What's that about? Whose side are they on? So let's look into who exactly did this fucking movie, because they have an agenda. I looked it up, and it is 20th Century Fox.
Which is, on the surface, doesn't necessarily look like much until you kind of peek around the corner and you notice that number one, Fox, you take the letters F, 6. All right?
Oh, shit.
O, 15, 1, 5, 6.
Oh,
X,
my God.
24.
2 plus
4, 6, 6, 6.
Ah! Oh, my God, Rob.
Think about that for a second.
Oh, my God, you're terrifying me, Rob. That's so scary.
And also remember that Fox is no longer its own company anymore, but was bought out by our dear friends, the Mices in the Highseas, the Mouse in the House.
Yeah. Mickey with the sticky.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
Walt Disney
Rob
owns the 666 named Fox.
Wow.
And they just trashed Freddie Mercury.
Exactly. As an extension, they now own Freddie Mercury. So they have his music. They're going to play it everywhere. But not only that, they humiliated him. Why would they do that to poor Freddie Mercury, who's been dead for 20 years? And all of a sudden they bring him back in a movie, they glorify him, and then suddenly drag him in the movie, and then completely drag him as he is a ghost. It's it seems like it's kind of an overkill. Like they've already, like, what are they doing this for? They want him on their side.
Mm-hmm.
But why?
It makes it seem like he's an unwilling ghost on their side. I think Freddie Mercury was a person of integrity, and I would imagine his spirit was probably the same. So in order to have them, but also he's a person of great talent and spirit. I mean, you see the film documents the way he was able to enchant so many people in such large crowds. And to this day, his music goes on. After every single time someone wins the Super Bowl, they play his music. And everyone goes wild.
They play it multiple times. We Will Rock You. They play during, the plays, and a play is a spell. During the final score, the end, We Are the Champions, another one, a spell. I mean, and then, okay, I think you just perfectly said it. Okay. He is able to enchant crowds with his music, with his voice. Day, day, ba, dee, do, dee, dee, do, ba, whatever the fuck he says, right? People just eat that shit up. And imagine, this is kind of like we were talking about last week with Stan Lee, right? We were trying to imagine what his ghost is capable of. If the person is capable of creating a universe as a living being, imagine as a undead being what they're capable of. Now, we take that with Freddie Mercury, a man that could charm and mind control hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people at the same time as a live person. What happens when he dies with that energy? It doesn't go away.
It grows stronger. And I think that's what we were saying before. The way that he's played at all these events all the time just maximizes the amount that the spell is on. You know, it's not, I said the Super Bowl, but it's really any sporting event. Professional, amateur, everyone plays it.
That's it.
It reaches so many people.
You got it, Rob. Okay. Imagine this. Like I said, he's been dead for, let's say, 20 plus years, right? Let's make it rounded, just say 22 or something. Who knows? So all of those years they've been playing his music. So all of those years he's been charging up his ghost energy. Okay? To the point where it is, maximum capacity. His energy is, through the roof, beyond any other ghost that we know. And yet Disney acquires the rights to him and they start making a movie. So, of course, they don't want to make him more powerful because then he is, kind of liable to go against them. Who knows what he could do, right? He could be so powerful, he could defeat Disney. So they trash him. They fucking throw him in the garbage and they humble him. They make him kiss the ring of Mickey Mouse. He took off the white glove and there's a big fucking diamond ring, a blood diamond. And he kissed it. They made him. And now who knows? Now he's on their side. I think they humbled and they broke Freddie Mercury. And it's truly sad because he was a pioneer, a visionary, not only in his vocals, but also in his lyrics. He was writing about stuff, esoteric. I mean, the namesake of the movie, Bohemian Rhapsody. If you guys haven't heard it, it's about opera, Scaramucci's and, Fandango, the ticket website that you buy tickets to go see sports shows.
He's such a visionary that didn't exist when he wrote that, but he knew it would.
And he knew that it would sell tickets to his, where you would hear his music.
Wow.
I mean, it's genius. It truly is genius. And he was a visionary. Bohemian Rhapsody, let's look into it a little bit because this is what the movie is based off of, right? So what's the significance of Bohemian Rhapsody? Let's look into it. Bohemian. The definition of a Bohemian is a native inhabitant of Bohemia. That's
I've seen a few of them around here.
In France, there are people who are from Bohemia.
And that's what first gave me, which is kind of, when you were telling me about this too, I thought it was remarkable because when I would talk to these Bohemians, they seemed to be, and I would tell them what I was doing, they seemed to be some of the most interested people in paranormal research.
Exactly. Like it's inherent in their culture for some reason. And let's get into that, okay? So where is Bohemia exactly? It was in Czechoslovakia, but that doesn't exist anymore. So now it's the
ghost country.
Yes, a ghost country, and it used to be, and now it is Czech Republic. But the flag of Bohemia is white and red. which is a white for ghosts. Everyone knows that.
Mm-hmm.
And red for blood. Blood sacrifice, blood of humans, blood of babies. We're not really sure, but blood is blood. So Bohemia, that's one part of it, right? But real quick, the second definition of a Bohemian, the synonyms of it, of Bohemian, nonconformist, dropout, unorthodox, free spirit. So, free spirit, Rob. What do you think that Freddie was trying to say with that? A free spirit, to free someone's spirit?
I mean, but then you think of like rhapsody is the second word, right? Like rapture or something like,
Yes.
it's almost biblical. But it's like this as an epic tale. So all about a free spirit. I mean, again, I think this goes to his vision. He knew the powers that he was dealing with. At this point, he was already, and he saw himself. I think he may have been writing about his own journey.
And an epic tale is an epic spell.
Yeah, and I think he thought ahead. He knew he was going to die. Of course, we all know we are going to die at some point, but I think he truly knew the entire circumstances of his life and was able to write a song about it before it happened. I mean, Fandango, I think, is proof to that.
Exactly. How would he know about Fandango, the internet ticket website, if he didn't know about
his movie?
Exactly. So, Bohemian. I looked into Bohemia, the place, and it's not too far where you are, but I'm not sure if you're close to the capital, which is Prague. If you guys have been, if any of you guys, shout out to Prague, guys. I found some very, very interesting things about Prague that I think that you guys should know. And when I say guys, of course, I mean X's, non-binaries, your genderqueer, your trans, LGBTQ. I mean everybody. Okay. So Prague is the capital of Bohemia, and it is the place where a lot of culture is from. Back in the day, it was the home of many different theaters: the National Theater, the Estates Theater, and they all, housed great operas by Mozart. Mozart, two of his premieres, Don Giovanni and La Clemenza di Tito, both of them premiered in Prague. My name is Giovanni. I just wanted to quickly, all full disclosure here, guys. My name is Giovanni. So, this is history. This is the history of Prague. From 500 years ago, they were doing primitive movies for people, in a theater kind of style. But it's the same kind of principle. You get people in a room and you shoot ghosts at them through spells. And so this is a culture that's used to this.
And and Gio, I think it's, thank you for sharing your full name. It's not easy. I did the same, outed myself last week, but I think if we're going to be outing other people like Farak Bulsara, aka Freddie Mercury,
Wow.
I think we need to be honest with ourselves as well, Giovanni. But
yes.
I think it shows your connection to the land, and I think that's important as well. You obviously have your cultural knowledge of this place. I think it's very intuitive for you as well. I think it also, I won't say it necessarily on air, but your last name actually.
Well, you know what?
You were telling me.
Let's say it.
Well,
let's say it.
Chumpatazi. I'll have you explain exactly the significance of Trumpetazzi, but I think it
Yes.
speaks to everything.
Guys, that was not a spell that Rob just said. That was my last name. My last name is Chumpetazzi. So I come from a mixed background, right? I'm multicultural. But I am, as far as I know, I am not Czechoslovakian. And yet my last name is Czechoslovakian. So I could possibly have origins in Prague, in the Czech Republic, somewhere.
I mean, it's almost like Gio. It's like there's like a ghost in your family tree.
I believe there's ghosts in all of our family trees, Rob, but I know exactly what you mean. There is something uncovered that we must uncover. And until we find that out, I'm really not sure what it is about Prague that is so, it just draws me in, and I think it's drawing you in as well. There is one thing that I saw that has kind of piqued my interest. Now, Prague is the house of many different things culturally, but one of them is a studio, a movie studio, and it is called Barandov Studios. They've been around since 1921. So that's a long, long time that they've been around. And they've been making movies this whole time. And literally they're still making movies. They're not done yet. And I just kind of wanted to tell Rob, I thought Hollywood was kind of one of the only places where movies were being filmed. I was wrong, because there are places, I mean, I didn't even know that Prague had a studio that made, I mean, I'm just going to kind of tick down some of the ones. G.I. Joe, Casino Royale, The Omen, Doom, Van Helsing, Hellboy. I mean, guys, these are Blade 2, Witch Hammer. Okay? And the pièce de résistance, everybody. Mission Impossible, the first one, and Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
I mean, just the fact that it's the first one, the first of anything has a very strong aura about it. It's the birthing edition. And then to go back to film the Ghost Protocol is very telling.
Exactly. And you have Van Helsing, you have The Omen, all of these horror, werewolf, vampire movies, ghost movies.
The fact that you're bringing in like G.I. Joe, which in other sort of more, almost military based, I think is also kind of going similar into these sort of themes that we're seeing. And I'm glad that we were doing this research too, because I think this is providing a little bit more clarity about what's going on here, here being America, because we're Americans. But
yes.
My perspective being in Europe right now, really just opens up my eyes that all these, it's just those films though. It's only those films that we talk about are the films that they're making.
Exactly. It's like there was a weird connection this whole time with the city of Prague and with Barandov Studios that we had no idea. And so we're going to have to really sink our teeth into, because this is, okay, they call it the European Hollywood, or the Hollywood of the East. That's
Wow.
That's literally what they call it. So, guys, this is something called synchronicity, fate. We didn't plan on having any kind of connection to an entire city or a culture, where my last name is a part of it. This is I mean, completely research is saved our life, because we would have never had the connection made were it not for us just kind of researching Bohemian Rhapsody and doing what we do. So, guys, if you have any kind of connection to Prague, any kind of connection to any of these movies, reach out to us, because we need to hear your story. This is very important. We don't know what's happening, but something's telling me that we have to go to Prague.
I mean, and I mean, it makes me feel inspired. I wish I had some more funding since I'm already out here, but I'm running a little dry, so we're going to need some help on this one too. We need the help from you, the community, to get out there. So we're probably going to be trying to see if we can pass the hat around. Drop anything you can. If especially if you're like living in Prague, if you can like drop us a beer, even.
Well, couch surf on your floor or something like that.
Yeah, like be in touch. Also, tell us your stories. Most importantly, let us know what's going on. As Gio already said, this is about us. When we're in it together, and I think the more that we can learn from each other, the stronger we can all be.
Absolutely, and I guess we have to thank Freddie Mercury for this one, because, like I said, if we weren't looking at his music and this lyric and this way, I would have never found this connection that we have. And truly, I wasn't, I don't think no one even told me there was a Hollywood of the East. I only knew Hollywood. And so now we got to start finding different Hollywoods.
Hollywood of the South.
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
We have to talk about Atlanta at some point.
Hollywood of the North. Maybe Vancouver.
Vancouver, absolutely. And these are all hot spots that we're going to have to go to. But I think the first one we have to check off our list is Prague, the furthest one, because I feel like there's something waiting for us there, Rob. Waiting for me. I mean, I know my last name. It's going to ring some bells when I go over there. They're going to see my last name, and they might welcome me like I'm coming home. I don't know.
Gio, I could say from over here, I feel like I'm on one side of a hill, and I can almost see over the crest. I can almost see what's on that other side.
Wow.
But I'm not quite there. But it's all one hill, right? So it's like I'm still feeling the energy over here. But I think we need to get to that other side.
Yeah, guys, this is the beginning of a very long journey to get us to Prague, because whatever's waiting for us, it can wait. We have a lot of work that we have to do in America, and once you get back to America, Rob, we can get started on that. But I think, it's something that in our future we have to get there, and we're going to get to Atlanta and of course Vancouver. But frankly, I think that Prague is the red flag here, and there's some national treasure style, treasure, some kind of hunt is afoot, and we got to start looking for clues before we go, because once we get there, it's a different language. I don't know how to talk. I don't even know what they speak over there, man. Yeah, is it Czech? I gotta check.
We'll find out.
Yeah. Oh boy, that was a rough one. Well, I don't want to keep you. I know there's people with baguettes and everything walking all around you.
Yeah, they're just bringing in the fresh loaves right now.
Yeah. So why don't we leave it there, guys? Let us know any Prague facts if you have them. We love to hear any prog rock. If you guys listen to prog rock, that'd be cool. Send it our way. And everybody, send Rob some well wishes. Hopefully, he has a nice plane trip all the way home, and he's home safe and sound when you guys hear this.
Yeah, guys. Thank you for everything. Thank you for making all this possible. Thanks for keeping it ghost free. We appreciate it so much to be in your lives, to provide you this safe space to talk about the paranormal without the fear of being haunted at the same time. we're the only service that really provides it, and we can't do it without you and without your interactions. That's what got me out here, and I'm interacting with everyone out here in France and all the Europeans that are on here and all the international travelers from Asia and Africa. It's a very interesting space to be. So thank you, and that just grows our team more and more. And I'm looking forward to coming back to America, to California, to continue the research and just go farther and deeper. This is an incredible journey. Wow.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna keep it ghost free as well. I'll get back on that plane, and I'll see you all soon.
That's right. And we're going to tag on at the end of this episode a little solo thing that Rob did in France, because it is really hot off the presses. You guys got to hear what happened. Trigger warning for you guys that get scared easily. It is not something to be heard lightly. So wear some earbuds with some holy water in them. So until next week, guys, stay in the scene.
Keep your eyes on the écrans, as they may say here in the France, and stay extreme.
It's all sounding like spells, but I mean, if you say them, I guess they're not. And it's Audio Sage, so it's fine. So take care, guys. We love you.